Good afternoon. Another project is about to start here. I just left off taking my last video shot of this Les Paul rebuild that I've got in the shop here hanging behind me. And there'll be another set of videos coming out on that later. But in the meantime, something else came into the shop for repair. And it's laying in this case behind me. So let's open it up and take a look and see what we got today to hopefully see and fix. Be right back. Well, there's the case. So I guess let's open her up, see what we got on this guy. I know it's a bass guitar, but let's take a boo and see here. Open up. Oh. She don't want to open up. There we go. What do we got in here? Ah. We got a Fender Base Squire. That's what we got here. And somebody got a stand in here in with this case. Take that out. Take a look at this. Yeah, okay. It looks it's in good shape. Let's take a look up the neck here. See what we got. Yeah, Squire. So the guy dropped this thing off while I was out of town. He dropped it off to me the other day, and basically what he's telling me is when he plugs it in on an amp, he gets the crackle, static. He's not sure what it is, so I mean, boils down to, you know, it's probably going to be this. It's going to be the input jack, or it's going to be the volume control pod. I'm expecting. So this video is going to be benching that and seeing what we can find out, and hopefully figure out what's wrong with this guy's bass, because he's borrowed a bass from somebody else, and he says, "I want my bass back." So. We're going to see what we can do to help this guy out. So over and out. We're going to, next video you see here, we're going to have this on the bench. So I take it out of the case. I've got it here on the bench ready to be worked on, and there she be. And I'm going to put up to the Skycam, move up to the Skycam so you get an overall look at what's going on and what we're doing to fix this this bass. So stand by. Well, I hope you can see okay on the Skycam there. Let me just straighten that Skycam out a little bit. It looks a little crooked. I'm just gonna adjust it. Hopefully that is okay for you to see this. Actually, I'm just gonna check that Skycam to make sure it's looking okay on your view. Oh yeah. Just check the viewfinder on it. Looks good. So I guess we're going to plug this sucker in and see what's going on with the this crackling or static this guy's talking about. Well, we find that problem pretty quick, don't we? Look at that input jack. Yeah. What else? Pots are a little dirty, so we're going to clean them at the same time. We're going to have this thing all opened up anyway. So may as well see what's wrong here. And same time open it up, I'm going to make sure I clean those contact cleaner, spray those into the pots and work them a bit. Oh yeah. No good like that. Let me just turn off this this amp, get the amp off, and let's take a boo and see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this cover plate off without taking the strings off, but Guess we're gonna find out pretty quick, aren't we? Yeah, so see what we can do. Open this up. And I'm just gonna look for a little container here, because easy to lose screws. Actually, not really a good screwdriver for that. I need my small screwdriver. I have a screwdriver that fits these exactly. This one. So we're gonna put the screws away so we don't lose them. Mind you, I got about 100 of these in a jar over there. So wouldn't be the end of the world if I lost one of these guys. Probably gonna have to take those knobs off too. Pull this thing out. A lot of times I find with the guitars, this is the input jack. It's the guy that gets the pressure, and you know, especially this kind of a setup here, easy to pull back and forth. You know, stuck out like this. That's why I like the you know, the way they have them on the Telecaster on the bottom, plugs in here. A lot less chance of that thing getting hit and moved around. And the other thing too is you can also get these plugs that have an L shape on it, so when it's plugged into here, it's flat and pointing down, and not so prone to getting bent. So just a couple little tips there for somebody. I'm gonna hopefully get this off, and then we're gonna see. Let's see if it'll come off, but I don't think so. I think the strings, hopefully the strings don't have to come off. I'll see if I can wiggle it out, take a look. This jack probably might be able to get away with it. We'll see. Usually too, when I do something like this, on a guitar like this, it's gonna get the full treatment. You know, I'm gonna clean the contacts, clean the pots out, fix this problem, clean the guitar. If the strings come off, I'll condition the fretboard. So wait and see. You know what I always love? I always get into something like this, and you get into one of these deals. You take a look in this knob here, and they got some squirrely screwdriver head in there that it's non-standard. Nothing fits it. I've had that happen a few times where you get some oddball. Actually, it was funny. I had a China Stratocaster in here a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, and I opened it up. The volume control was acting up. It was off and on and whatnot. And anyways, I open it up, and what they have in there, they've got instead of a guitar plot, it looks like the volume control for a radio is in there on this Chinese knockoff Stratocaster. I have a video up on that. It was the funniest thing I ever seen. Wondering why the audio on the volume control, you'd put it up and it would waver. It would go up and down as far as the volume intensity. Couldn't figure out why. Open it up. Here's this non-standard volume control in there. So what the heck have they got on these pods here? There's the pod knobs to get out. What have they used? There's what's in there? Some kind of oh, it comes right off. Good. So I don't have to take them off. Now the trick is, will it come out? Can I slide it out? Can I slide it out? Ah, yes, success. Oh, look at this. Look at this cheap. Holy moly. Look at this cheap jack here. Oh, the ground. So, let me bring down the cam here. Let me show you what's going on. I will show you why we got this this problem on this guitar. So anyways, I get it out, thank God. I don't have to take the strings off, but I go down here to the look at the ground wire. So you see the ground wire got busted off, and it was just making contact here, just touching, and that's why we have all the static on this guitar. So holy cow, that was a pretty easy one to find. So yeah, guess the next little trick, I'll put this back up on top and get the soldering gun out and do a little solder job on it. I'm probably gonna, I'm looking at this, probably push these contacts in a little farther, bend them in a little more, so that the plug here snaps in and snaps and holds strong firmly into that jack. Because right now it's pulls out real easy, so I'll bend those contacts in and do a resolder job. So I'm gonna put this back up on top, so stand by. Well, hopefully I got this in the center of the screen so you can see what's going on. The other thing you notice is that whenever you're doing soldering or something like this on somebody's guitar, you make sure you put down a nice cloth, protect against scratch, drop the pliers, or a little drop of solder falls down. You want to make sure you keep it protected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up this contact here. Hopefully, sometimes you need a little bit of solder on there to get it heated up here. It's a little dirty, but we'll see what happens here. It should heat up. Hopefully. Well, maybe not. Let's just do a little scrape on this guy. Needs to be cleaned off a bit. Got some old crud on there. Let's see if that helps. There, starting to do something now, I think. Smell it anyway. There it goes. It's hot enough now. It's starting to melt. So let's just put that there. And let's see if I can clear that off. See, there's a wire there that I want to get a hold of. There it is. Come on. There, see what I mean? There, the solder fell, you see, and it landed right there with the wire on that cloth. Now, you sure wouldn't want that landing on somebody's expensive guitar body. So that's why I tell people when they're working on something like this to make sure you put down something like this, protective cloth. So what we have here is, of course, now that little wire, it's not going to reach that contact. So I'm going to have to probably get a little piece of wire, and I'll find that in a minute, and I'll solder that on instead. So while I'm looking for that wire that I need, I'm just going to put this on pause. So just stand by. Well, I found the little wire. Wasn't too bad. And I've already soldered it onto this contact right here. So that's onto this pod here, and then I just put it through this little contact. And I'm gonna now just do a little solder on here, and that should be it. By the way, I changed the probe on this soldering gun, the end of it here, because that old one was so bad, bent and dirty and crud. It was hard getting the thing to work. So I put a new one on. It's gonna work a lot better because the solder is gonna melt right away on this new one. Just like that. And that's a done deal. That's basically all there is to that little fix. So we'll just take a little look and make sure nothing else is hanging loose, ready to fall off. No. Looks all okay. So the only thing left to do is let's just check this jack out and see how it is. No, it's not too bad. It's got a pretty good clip to it, so I don't think it needs to be reset. So now we're gonna see if we can slide this guy back in. But before I do that, I'm looking at this this mess here, and why not just do a little cleanup? And I'm using Dunlop 65 cleaner. Just a little spray, and we're gonna see if we can just see how that crud comes off there. Nice. Do a nice job here. Bit more there. It's not really all that dirty, but I got the top off it here, the cover off it. Now's the time if you want to just clean this up a little bit. Now's a good time to do that. Make it look nice and shiny again. I'm not sure how old this guitar is. The guy that gave it to me to look at, he never said. But it's got a couple little wear knocks on it here and there, but nothing real bad. You can see this Dunlop Dunlop cleaner, guitar polish and cleaner. It does a pretty good job taking the crud off. So that's better. A little bit more there. There. That's an improvement. Now I'm going to slide this back in. Get the little wires back in where they belong, hopefully. Make sure we don't pinch nothing. Okay, now before I screw this thing all back in, we're gonna test it, of course, just like this. Put the amp on, turn it on over here. My big 5-watt, powerful, blistering 5-watt amplifier there. So that looks like that fixed that problem. Gee, I wish they were all like this. They're not. This was a pretty easy one. This is what you call the 30-minute special, this one. Time you do a little bit of work and whatnot. We'll put this back together again. Not exactly an exciting part of the video, eh? Watching me screw these these pickguard screws back in, but it's a job. I'm surprised how many I get of these jobs. I've been getting about a couple guitars a week in here now. I started this a few months ago doing this work. My background is a computer technician, so but I'm also in a band and a guitar player. So what happens is, you know, because of my technical background with Bell Canada for a number of years, working on instruments and contacts and relays and all that kind of stuff. The electronics part of it is for a guitar is pretty simple. And then also I find that you know, even working on the old tube technology amps is not really a big deal either. I'm used to that kind of stuff as well. So it kind of fit hand in hand. I can do this guitar work on the side as well as my computer work. And but the thing is, it's funny. When I'm working on computers, that's work. I find when I'm working on guitars, I find this very relaxing and enjoy it a lot. I really enjoy working on guitars. So I'm going to keep doing it. And I start to think, well, why don't I publish some videos, which I started doing. So you guys out there can look it up on YouTube and see the kind of things that fix guitars, and you know, maybe somebody be inclined to get into themselves. Generally, I find with guitar players, they really don't want to monkey with their own guitars or anybody's guitar. Like I find even something like restringing a guitar, they would rather have someone else do it. I'm not sure why, but seems to be that's the trend, is they prefer not to do this kind of work on the guitar. So it keeps guys like me in business. So those are all in there tight. I didn't show you that. I did spray these pots. I missed that in the video. I had give them a little shot as well, just to make sure, and they seem fine. I'm just going to clean this pickguard a bit and put a little bit on those knobs, so that looks a little bit better. Get the crud off the top of those knobs. So I'm not sure. It looks like maybe a little bit of rust was on those knobs. So maybe this guitar has been around a bit. I'm not sure. It may have been. So that's that back on. There's a little bit of crud right there I'd like to get rid of. That looks better. So with that, I'm going to turn off, just make sure here. Yeah, this I'm going to have to, that pot is, it'll be fine once it cleans up. Like I said, I put some cleaner. I'm using something like this, a Motomaster Canadian Tire special, you know, electric contact cleaner. So basically all I do is I give, when this is open, I give this a shot on the pot there. And then usually what happens after that, after you turn this pot back, you know, I don't know, number of times, that crackle. See, already that crackles. It's just about gone now. Yeah, it'll be gone. Time the guy play it a bit and turn it a bit, it won't take long. That'll sink in and clean that up. It's just about gone now. So with that, I'm going to turn this off. Take this plug out, and I'm just going to clean the rest of this guitar up a little bit so you can see the back of it. Yeah, just a little wipe down is nice, and I'm going to do the neck as well. Yeah, I'm not sure the year. I'd like to know the year of this. But you can see it's got some wear and tear. I'm just looking at it. You can see the knocks that it's got here and there along the way. So it's been played, and it's pretty reasonable price. The Fender line and the Squire, you know, they have that's the lower end of their guitar line, but you know, it's still not a bad guitar. for the price, it's really a deal, these guitars. So we're just gonna clean this neck up properly. It looks so much better to get that headstock clean too. Yeah, I want to just clean up. I don't know if this is out of the view of the Skycam, but the maybe I can show you what I'm cleaning. I just moved this down a little bit so it's more in line with the view here. But I'm just cleaning up these the tuning machine heads. They're pretty grimy, and there's no reason we can't just do at least a small cleanup on these. They're shiny again now. That neck looks a lot better. It was pretty cruddy. So let's take a look. Yeah, she looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Maybe just a little bit more there and I'm done. Yeah, I'm pretty well done with this. So the guy's got his Fender Base Squire back again when he comes picks it up, probably in the next couple days. No more static. So anyway, just take her down and yeah, so she's all done. One of my shorter videos, so I hopefully you enjoyed it. So till next time, over and out, Pete saying goodbye.